They say imitation is the best form of flattery, and conservatives are certainly trying to imitate their version of the squad. Those are the progressive lawmakers in Congress, women of color, fierce fighters, people that we love and talk about on the show quite often. Well, now there are a number of conservative women running for Congress, and they want to make up the so-called conservative squad. Take a look.
Republican Alabama congressional candidate Jessica Taylor joins us now with the conservative squad. We have Minnesota congressional candidate Michelle Fischbach, South Carolina congressional candidate Nancy Mace, and Texas congressional candidate Beth Van Dyne. Thank you, ladies, for being with us. Jessica, congratulations, you actually did this.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having us.
When you look at these ladies that want to form a conservative squad with you, what goes through your mind?
You know, I'm just honored that they want to join in this fight, and that's exactly what it is. You know, we are losing the younger generations of this country, and I'm so grateful that they're willing to join up and help in this cause.
So while there has been an insane amount of criticism toward Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez because she was previously a bartender, it was interesting to hear some of these women talk about their previous jobs and how they're now running for Congress. Take a look.
Why is this squad important to you?
Well, you know, if I look at my life, I got my start as a waitress at Waffle House. I became the first woman to graduate from the Citadel, the Military College of South Carolina 20 years ago. Today, I'm a businesswoman and state lawmaker running for the United States Congress. And this is about our future. This is the American dream. And you see the Democrats, they've taken a sharp left turn under the influence of the socialist squad. And you look at us, and this is socialism versus American values of freedom and job creation. And we all understand up here today that people flourish under freedom. And 2020 next year is pivotal for our country.
So first the fun point and then substance. I'm glad they finally put out the graphics of their names, because one of the women, every time they said one of the names, she would wave. And I'm like, wait, which one is she? They can't even go all the names. She's like, hey, it's me again. Okay, anyways, so she's like, we stand, it's not like these socialists who want to give you health care so your kids don't die and want to increase your wages and want to save the planet while creating higher paying jobs. We're not like those no good socialists. We're for freedom. I mean, unless you're talking about freedom for women, in which case we're not for that at all. We're anti-choice. We're gonna get between you and your doctor. We're gonna get inside your uterus. We're gonna be big government. In fact, that horrendous bill I keep going back to from a couple of weeks ago, Ohio said if you're get pregnant, but it actually goes into your fallopian tubes, you're supposed to take out the zygote and put it back into your uterus, which is scientifically impossible. And if you don't do that, we're gonna put you in jail. We're gonna put the women in jail and take their freedom away because we're gonna call it abortion murder, right? So here's the so-called conservative squad talking about freedom when in fact they're against women's freedom. And they'll say, oh, how dare you, I'm a woman. Yeah, but what are your policies in regards to all women in the country?
Right, so, and I think that is a point that's lost on so many people, both in the media and also in politics, because they think that young voters are dumb. They think that we're not paying attention. They think that they are misinformed or uninformed. And the fact of the matter is, as I've said on the show many times recently, people are paying very close attention, especially young voters, because they have a lot more to lose. So I'm fine with this. I actually think this is great, and this is something that I'm celebrating, because the fact that they want to position themselves and market themselves as the conservative squad means that they are maybe unwittingly acknowledging that the squad is powerful, that they're influential, and they're getting things done.
Yeah, wait, Fox News, I thought you loved to make fun of the squad and all the conservatives, like, they're not, a bunch of socialists not getting anything done. We're the squad too, we also want to be a squad. Can we be a squad? Because they're so popular. Oops.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And look, Fox News is propping these candidates up and framing them as the conservative squad. And so this is on the conservative side, right? But there are centrist Democrats who have tried to position themselves as they've tried to market themselves in a similar way. And that reminds me of a segment that CNN did. Take a look.
Even before they were elected,
You have adopted the badass label.
these freshman congresswomen created their own group, the Badasses.
Group of freshman females that people know about is the squad.
Are you guys the anti-squad?
What I tell people in my district, the left wing of our party has created such momentum behind things like moving forward on our environment.
None of us is ever going to get in a Twitter war with anyone else. If we have a concern with someone, we're going to go right up and talk to them about it.
But like, okay, they're freshman Democrats who happen to be women, but their policy positions are the same as the majority of other members of Congress. So like nothing makes them different, right? Like the reason why the squad is because they're freshman Democrats who reject corporate PAC money, who have progressive ideals and values, and who fight. That's the reason why they've been grouped together as the so-called squad. Simply being a woman who has the exact same policy proposals or positions as the vast majority of Democrats in Congress doesn't make you special in any way.
My favorite part of that clip every time is when she's like, if we have a problem with someone, we don't get into a Twitter war. I just go up and tell them, or I go on CNN and complain about them.
Right, totally.
Okay, but actually worse about that segment was CNN there tried to give credit to those 4 women for starting impeachment. No, wait a minute. That turns not only history on its head, but I'm going to tell you the follow-up to that, which we didn't tell you before. So first of all, of course that's not true. The progressives, Just Democrats, all push for impeachment, Rashida Tlaib most famously. They were the last to join. And what you don't know is after that segment aired, and we did our segment on it, those same 4 women then that are in the badasses turn around and told Democratic leadership, whoa, ease up on impeachment. We should do less articles, and we should
limit the scope
of impeachment. And CNN tried to give them credit for impeachment.
It's sad.
It's unbelievable. I mean, that's the alternative facts of the mainstream media from time to time that's so dispiriting. But so that's more dispiriting and kind of a machine that pushes for that. And Anna, you're absolutely right. Here are 4 women who say the same things as everyone else in the Democratic Party, badasses. Like, what? Okay, how is that any different?
They won't push the envelope.
Okay.
They won't stir the pot.
Well, they will sometimes push it a little bit towards the Republicans. Okay, meanwhile, AOC pretty much single-handedly started the Green New Deal. I mean, other people were fighting for climate change before, of course, right? But the framing of the Green New Deal, Rashida Tlaib, most famously, was the most aggressive when it comes to impeachment. Ilhan Omar on public housing, and the list goes on. Ro Khanna, in terms of, that's now talking about Justice Democrats generally, not just the squad, which is a part of the Justice Democrats. Ro Khanna pushing on defense, on getting higher wages for Amazon, all fighting aggressively, getting things done, and different than the rest. So meanwhile, now the new conservative squad, how are you different? You have the same exact policies as the men in the Republican Party. There's nothing different at all. There's no new proposal. Like, I read the whole thing, I'm like, okay, all right, good. New squad, fascinating, because they're talking about taking the Republican Party in a new direction for young people. I was like, okay, so what are your new proposals? Nothing. In fact, one of them said, this is not your grandfather's GOP anymore. There's actually a smidgen of truth in that, because your grandfather might have been pre-civil rights era, in which case the Republicans were more socially liberal.
Right, they were.
Okay, so this is not your grandfather's GOP. It is more bigoted, more racist, and more sexist than your grandpa ever was.
Look, I think though for the GOP, I probably disagree with every policy proposals by those women, right? But at the same time, I do think it's important to have female representation in Congress, especially on the right. The right is notoriously bad at being inclusive with female lawmakers. And so even they might have a perspective that the Republican Congress, it has a blind spot to. So even though I disagree with them, I do think it's good to have female representation in both parties. So I'm just gonna put that out there.
Yeah, and if it's affected if it's shown in their policy, fantastic. Haven't seen it yet, but it does happen from time to time. Sometimes Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski, 2 Republican female senators, do turn around and vary from the Republican male senators a little bit, but sometimes it's an important little bit. In this case, we don't have any evidence of that, but we'll see. Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.